not only an amazing race super fan, but a Racers Recap super fan from almost day one, I think. You've been around forever. We got to meet each other. We got to hang out.
Yeah.
You are one of the few members who are in the YouTube member club, so I appreciate you. Elena Singer in the house. I'm sure you've seen her in every single one of the chat rooms. How are you doing?
Doing good. Happy to be here.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. This is going to be a fun one. In the house already, ready. Jack and Carson showing some love. I appreciate it when the racers in the house. My man Mark Jarrell, who is responsible for all of the incredible notes when it comes to how far the distances are and things like that. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you check those out. We'll go through some of those today. They are in the Discord group. If you're not part of the Discord group, what is your problem? Just get in the Discord. There's a little Amazing Race channel with nothing but super fans and ex-racers where they just talk junk and have a little fun. I think this week was the only time I've ever seen someone talk a little bit negative about racers, and then that racer called them out on it, which was so fun. So make sure you get on in there and see what the heck I'm talking about.
Yeah. Free to join. A lot of fun.
There you go. Free to join. Elena Singer, tell us what's up. How long have you been a fan of The Amazing Race?
Let's see. I started watching, it was season 22. That was airing so that was 13 years ago?
13 years ago. I could turn my mic up, no problem. 13 years ago. My mic's turned up. There you go.
22 was my season where Dave tore his Achilles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and everybody knew about it. Trust me, because all he did was complain. I'm an old man. Shut up.
His next appearance, he was like, about the U-turn.
Yeah.
I love him. He's great, but, I mean, just, it's race to jump.
That's all right. So let's get into a little bit about this episode. This travel distance is brought to you by my man, Mark Jarrell, who's hopefully he is a super fan, but hopefully a future contestant on the show. And I believe this is the first time he's actually in chat for a live episode. So chat with him. And if you want to get some inside information, Scott and Lori also dropped their map inside of the Discord. We really appreciate that. That has all of the little notes from the clues and stuff like that, which I really appreciate them sharing that. That's pretty awesome.
Very detailed, very organized. Great.
So this episode, the teams traveled 47 miles, and it took 2.5 hours of travel time. And that's because the first one, the route info, even though it was only 28 miles, it took 1.5 hours to travel 28 miles. So that tells you the speed limits in this location. And as you can see later on, traveling through little fields where there's just grass along the sides of you. You can't even back up. Ray Fletcher, my man. Sorry. You can cut me off at any time. Ray Fletcher, my man, dropping in because he wasn't here last week. He's like, this is the way we start the show. Bang! Super chat in the house. Ray Fletcher, always supporting. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. I think we're up to... Well, now we're up to $126 this season. Whoop, whoop, let's go. 4 episodes, baby. I am making big bucks. But we all know I don't do this for the money. I do this because I'm a super fan just like you. I make this show for the super fans. And this season is the season of the super fan, where every episode I will invite some super fan on to share their opinions with the chat and with racers and everybody who watches. Because if you watch the Racers Recap and you eventually make it on the show, you will have an advantage over every other team. That is a fact. Facts.
No doubt about it.
Facts. Jack and Carson said the traffic was truly abysmal. Like, all of the taxis were just inching along, which is the worst feeling in the world when you're a racer. You're stuck in traffic because you believe that nobody else is stuck in traffic and you're the only ones. And as you saw in the first leg of my season, the tears started pouring as soon as we hit traffic.
I mean, as a New Yorker, I get it. Yeah, not pretty.
All right, so let's start off with the order of departure here. Scott and Lori are kicking it off at 1:45 a.m. Crazy time to be leaving, 1 o'clock in the morning. But This is a long, long travel day, so I understand it. Plus, they wanted to bunch teams up because Bernie
Oh
and
yeah.
Bernie and Carrigan started 4 hours after Scott and Lori, which was absolutely crazy. But what's even crazier is the 8th and ninth teams started 3 hours after Scott and Lori. Nick and Mike, Han and Holden started about 3 hours after Scott and Lori. So that was a big separation, which means it's time for a bunch point, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I as much as a racer, I hate bunch points, but as a viewer, you need them. Otherwise, we would have known for a long time. Oh, who jumped in here? Who's JLC? Who's that? Somebody. See, this is what happens when you open up your Discord. People just jump on in. Home. Are you JLC? If you're not going to say anything, then just go ahead and jump out of the room. If you want to say who you are, then go ahead and chat. All right. All right.
It was interesting seeing that, as you said, like that equalizer point. I mean,
yep, there's a couple of them this leg.
Yeah, sometimes it's beneficial, sometimes it's not. It's like it varies depending on the situation.
Yep, and then we get to the airports. In the airports, the top 3 teams all don't think they're going to screw each other over with the driver's seat, which baffles my mind because that's literally the only strategy for the driver's seat is to slow down teams 2, 3, and 4 so you can guarantee yourself first place. Like, why would I slow down like the slower teams? Like, because I'm scared somebody's going to U-turn me? You got to beat me to the board unless there's a voting U-turn. Which we'll see how that comes in place. But I think the only strategy for the driver's seat is to take teams 2, 3, and 4, slow them down to guarantee yourself a first place. What do you think about? I guess we'll get there in a sec.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what I said. Honestly, I mean, but yeah, as you said, we'll get there.
All right, so there's 2 flights. There's 2 flights. 9 teams are on the 7:15 flight, which lands at 4:40 p.m. And Bernie and Carrigan are the only ones to get on the other flight, which landed at 8:50. So they landed 4 hours after the other teams. But
yeah,
it's a night leg, and not too many legs happen at night, even though we did one in India on our season.
That's true. I remember that.
So you know that there is a bunch point, and I will ask Jack and Carson, where did you guys end up sleeping? Where did the people sleep? Because this was an overnight leg, and they did not show anything about where you guys slept. And in our season, we slept in airports. Another season, we slept on the streets. Another episode, we slept in the basement of a church. So I don't know where they had you guys sleep during an overnight, but if you could drop that in chat, that would be really great. All right.
Yeah,
so all the teams get there and you have to pick a number. And normally the numbers usually have a 15-minute departure times between each other. But this time it was only 5 minutes. So 5 minutes separated every team that left for the ATVs. Mark and Brett said they're going to focus on the fun since focusing on the placements has not helped them. They've been finishing really low. I thought they'd be finishing a lot higher, which made me think that they've been kind of holding back. If they couldn't get first, they were just like, as long as we don't get last, is almost the mindset I thought they were having.
Well, I mean, the mindset you want to have on the race like you're in last.
That's true. That is it's a good mindset to have. Even if you're in first, race like you're in last. Trying to make up a minute here, a minute there. Everything you could do to make up a couple minutes makes a big, big difference.
Oh, yeah, big time.
All right. So, has anyone ever heard of Guanaha before? I've never heard of Guanaha before, but that is where Josiah is from. His parents still live there. It's a little island off the coast of Guatemala. Jack and Carson said, I think the intention was to have us sleep there on the ground, but they said there was a safety security issue and we need to go to a hotel.
Interesting.
Wild. He said it might have been because of wild dogs and people coming out of their homes, coming to the temple at nighttime. Yeah, I guess, it's a big deal to have a TV show filming in this little island that they have here. And from what Mark Jarrell tells me, this island is 2,230 square miles, which is just about the size of Delaware, about 200 and less than 300 miles bigger than Delaware, and half the size of the big island of Hawaii, if you want to get an idea of how big Bali is in general. So that makes a big difference, knowing that you can get from one side of the island to the other side of the island in a set amount of time. So we could see how that might come into play. But so teams got to spend the night at a hotel unexpectedly. So Bertram wasn't too happy about having to spend some more money on a hotel when he thought they were going to sleep on the street.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, safety, the racer safety always has to be the number one priority.
And that's one thing I will say, that they are really big on racers' security, and they have an incredible security team, even though the head of security is a jerk. And he hated me. Big old Herman. He hated me. I don't know why. He hated me because I cried so much. He thought I was a pussy, basically.
I mean, it's okay to cry on the race. It means you're passionate about what you're doing.
Hey, I can't stop. If I wasn't crying on the race, I would have been mean, and I definitely did not want to be mean, so I have to let it all out.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, so everybody jumps on these ATVs, and they are loving life until the tunnel comes, and then everybody starts shitting the pickles. Like, oh, because they did not expect that tunnel. It looked like they were having fun, though. I did not.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you get the feeling that Jonathan was a nerd? Who I thought I seen him as more of a jock rather than a nerd, but he claims to be a nerd who wants to be Indiana Jones. Did not expect that.
It was cute, honestly. I mean, he was kind of like in one of his confessionals with Anna, he had the Indiana Jones hat on. I thought that was pretty cute.
Yes. Man, that is he surprises me in a bunch of ways. I was tough on him on the first episode. These last couple episodes, he's been awesome. Hasn't had any issues. It looks like next episode, the other side of Jonathan's going to come out. We'll get to that.
Bugs are coming out.
All right. So Jack and Carson said people were lathering themselves up with extra strength DEET and bug spray just to spend 4 hours in the shower getting it off later. Yeah, you don't want to go to sleep with DEET and bug spray on your body. But
you don't.
In countries like that, you definitely want to lather yourself up with that.
Oh, yeah.
Because one thing you don't want to do is catch something on the race, and then that gets you sick, and then that's the reason that you wind up losing the amazing race, and that would be absolutely terrible. Jack and Carson live in their Mario Kart fantasy, which I loved. Also loved the riding a dragon reference.
Yeah.
It seems like it's the season of the nerds, because you wouldn't expect like Brett and Mark to be nerds either, but Brett and Mark are apparently nerds as well. They're big old jack dudes. Like, you don't expect nerds to be in such good shape, but I'm so happy that nerds are representing. Let's go get some muscles.
As someone who also loves Mario Kart, I appreciated that reference from Carson and Jack. I was like, yeah, I could totally relate.
That's what I'm talking about. Get a little. I'm a Diddy Kong. I love my little Diddy Kong when I race with my boys. Awesome. Cooking something downstairs. It smells yummy. So, all right. So teams must. This is pretty simple. I mean, it's not really a difficult task. There's nothing to really miss. Doesn't look like they hid the clue behind the waterfall where people would miss it. It was just a cool task to show off the beauty of the island, and Jack and Carson can confirm this, but Mark Jarrell, our insider, said that this was a 1 hour round trip on ATVs. I did not think it was going to take that long, but 1 hour round trip on an ATV seems like a fun way to spend an hour.
I mean, I agree. I mean, once they got the clue, that waterfall was gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, everything in this place seemed gorgeous. I mean, Bali is one of those places I'd love for them to go. I mean, for me to go on like a vacation or something like that.
Bucket.
Yes, I am a Funky Kong main for sure. When we had to unlock Funky Kong, he wasn't there from the beginning.
No, yeah, But yeah.
All the nerds know it. All the nerds know it. All right. So teams leave 5 minutes apart. Mark and Brett focusing on the fun. All right. Everybody's scared. Let's get to the rice fields where not all of, but some of the mistakes were made, because most of the mistakes were made on the next part, which we'll get to. But Jonathan, for some reason, before they even get there, and he says that harvesting rice is very time consuming. How the hell would Jonathan know anything about harvesting rice? Obviously, he was wrong, because it's not time consuming. Like,
yeah.
Why would he expect to know how long harvesting rice would take? I don't know. Maybe he did watch the documentary or something, but I don't know. How would you know how long it takes?
You're going in blind. I mean,
Mark and Brett's taxi driver takes them 43 minutes out of the way, even after he said he typed in the right location and handed it to him, but for some reason it didn't sound like he hit go. He handed him the location, and the taxi driver didn't hit go. He picked another location and took them 43 minutes. And
out of the way.
Brett and Mark, I don't know if they just didn't show it or if they're just calm as hell, but there's no way that I would be that calm if somebody took me 43 minutes out of the way. I was pissed off at the cab driver in China for taking me 20 minutes out of the way, and I got so much shit about it online. But like 43 minutes, I might have reached across and put him in a chokehold. Jonathan and Anna. All right, let's get to it. All right, so what they did was they assigned it to the people who were like directly behind them in second, third, and fourth, which I guess is okay as far as the strategy goes. But when there's only 5 minutes separating those teams, as far as strategy wise, I would have done it with the people who have been second, third, and fourth. So as much as I like Jack and Carson, they would have definitely got 25 pounds. Scott and Lori would have definitely got 25 pounds. I would have thrown another 25 pounds on. I always looked at Brett and Mark and Brett as a stronger team than they've shown. So they would have gotten 25 pounds. I would have given all the lightweights to the lightweights. Like, you know, all the girls, they would have got 15 pounds. Han and Holden would have got 15 pounds because we're not worried about them. Even Nick and Mike, as beefy as they are, they haven't, they finished 6th place as their highest? Like, I would have given them 15 pounds. Come on. Come up to the front with me. All of the slow teams, come up to the front with me, and let's hang out for one leg. And we'll see how it goes. But what would your strategy have been? The people who are directly behind you, or the people who have typically finished in the top?
I mean, honestly, I would have mixed it up as fair as possible, because the way they did it, fine, but giving themselves the 15 and not even attempting the roadblock and using and wasting the express pass, that was, I honestly, what the hell are they thinking?
Yeah, well, first of all, anybody who watches the races recap knows a few things about express passes. There's only 2 times to ever use an express pass. One is when you're trying to avoid being in last place. 2 is when you're trying to win first place, which is what they were doing, which is technically the right thing to do. But
however,
if you're watching the races recap, tell them what they should know. If you watch the races recap,
use the express pass on the damn detour. Come on, guys.
A detour is meant for 2 people to do at the same time. So tasks that are meant for 2 people are longer than tasks that are meant for 1 person, unless it's something that you just can't do. Like if it had to do something like me, some things that if I had to draw a circle, like a perfect circle, I can't do that no matter how much I have astigmatism and I have shaky hands. So there's no way that I could draw a circle. Like if I had to draw 2 eyes, I can never draw 2 eyes that right. I can't even draw like a straight line from top to bottom without it slanting off. So like certain tasks, like that you're just terrible at, okay, then you can use it on a roadblock. But 99% of the time, use it on a detour and use it to either get first or avoid last. Those are the only reasons to ever do it. But for this task, There is no reason, especially when you can give yourself an advantage already before you even start. You get there first, and you get an advantage of only doing 15 pounds where most of the teams are doing 20 pounds. There's nobody that could say that this is a good use of the Express Pass, and if they do, they're only trying to be nice to Jonathan and Anna. And not just because of the way things worked out, because if you watch my channel on Instagram where I do my live reactions, I even said, before they assigned who did what, like before they did anything, they wasted the Express Pass. It doesn't matter how long before anybody even started the task. I said, this is a waste of the Express Pass. You give yourself an advantage, and then you waste the Express Pass. This is the first time they had a chance to use it, and they used it. Like, you want to hold it for as long as you possibly can. Hold it for as long as you possibly can. If you're not going to be last, hold it until what they said, the end of the fifth leg. I would have used it on the fifth leg to get first place on the fifth leg. That would have been the intention. Like the night before, me and Diana would have been like, oh, we have to use it by the fifth leg. Okay, we're going to use this on the fifth leg to get first place. And that's the mindset unless something crazy happens.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
it's like they run a decision without even what I would have done if I were them. I would have at least tried the roadblock. And if I were struggling and it felt like I couldn't do it, then I would have pondered, do we use the Express Pass, or do I just keep pushing through, keep trying until I get in a groove where like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know what I have to look for. I know like the baseline that I have to achieve. But they just rushed into it, like not even thinking about it.
Yeah, and somebody asked the question that if the producers stopped other teams from getting to the driver's seat until after they were assigned, which as a producer, yes, I would have had the teams waiting there until they assigned everybody, as to not have them influence the decisions of Jonathan and Anna. So I would have been like, wait here until they're assigned, then you can run in and do it. But yeah, this might be even worse than Tanner and Josh's use of the Express Pass, which spawned me saying wastedexpresspass.com. And by the time I got back to buy wastedexpresspass.com, somebody had already bought wastedexpresspass.com and had a picture of Tanner and Josh there. Hold on, let me see if it's still up. Because somebody did spend money, and it wasn't me, I promise. Wastedexpresspass.com. Let's see if it's still there. Yes, go to wastedexpresspass.com. Somebody is paying for this every year, because you have to pay for this website every year. If you go to wastedexpresspass.com. Oh, that's great. Come on, it's got to be one of the Races Recap fans. Tell me who owns this site. Oh, that's so...
Maybe Tanner and Josh themselves. Who knows?
Are you right? Just no, I don't think they'd appreciate that. All right, so what do we got here? We got Alyssa and Josiah, 25 pounds. Bernie and Carrigan, which is effed up, 25 pounds.
Oh, I agree. I mean, they were coming in the back of the pack. I would have at least given them what I would have done. I would have, if I were Jonathan and Anna, I would have given themselves 20 pounds and then given the 15 to Bernie and Carrigan, because then they have a chance to catch up.
Yeah, I would, like I said, I would want to help the weaker teams get to the front of the pack so I could just guarantee myself more first place wins. I mean, that's just the way I was. Like, there's different mindsets for races. Most races race to not get last. Our mindset was always, if you're racing for first, you're never going to get last because you're always racing it for first. So why think about last? Just think about first.
I will say, though, I had the perfect attitude about getting 25 pounds. She was unfazed. She was like, bring it on. She didn't let getting the most weight stop her.
No.
She run.
But I mean, Carrigan, if you watch her, all she's doing, she's not even looking at what she's doing. She's looking around at everybody else. She has the smallest bunch. She has the smallest bunch of things, and she's like, dunk, dunk, dunk. Meanwhile, you got Jeff grabbing like a whole thing like this. Whang, whang, whang. You got Alyssa. I did not realize how jacked Alyssa is. Like, she's got muscles in her arms. She's got these thick, muscular thighs, and she was like, bam, bam. She was crushing it. But the girl, the one who did the best was Lori. Lori got up there and took her mama energy and was like, bang, bang, bang. And she crushed it and got right out of there.
Oh, the pressure on it. It was like, boom, boom, boom.
Oh, loved seeing that. Let's see. Mark and Brett were the last ones to arrive because of their cabs. So Bernie and Carrigan were there before Mark and Brett. So they were in this leg. They had no reason to lose this leg other than Carrigan messing up here. And then Mark loses his shoe, RIP shoe. He didn't care. They didn't let him even affect him for a second. Bang, bang, bang. Just getting in there, getting it done. And they're getting it out of there.
Exactly.
I don't think there was much strategy to this as far as doing it. The only thing is get as big a bunch of you as you can hold and smack it as fast as you could. Then go and get a bigger bunch, smack it. And when you pick it up, which I saw a lot of teams taking it from the bag to put it into the grater and dropping rice everywhere. Then they were like, they were, doing it like a chef trying to do, get the rice to come back, and they were dropping it everywhere. It's like, what are you doing? But Mama had the smart strategy. She picked it up and she was blowing out all of the leaves and the debris instead of trying to
put it in the bag. Yep.
Instead of trying to pick it out with her hands and losing some. But yeah, Scott and Lori are definitely they look like underdogs, right? Because you just look at them like, they look older, like not old, they're out of shape, right? But nah, they're not that old. Like, they're both younger than me, so so I can't complain. Like, I can't knock them. They keep proving me wrong week after week, but we'll see what happens when this U-turn vote comes on.
It'll be interesting.
Also, I don't know if it was allowed, but if any team left, the first thing I would have did was go over to their basket and see if there was any rice left into their basket and taken it and put it in mine. I don't know if that was legal, but that would have been the first thing that I would have thought of. And on The Amazing Race, it's always better to ask forgiveness than permission, because if it's not strictly written there that you can't do it, then obviously they haven't thought about it, which means they can't penalize me for it because it's not in the rules. Especially what?
So, not cheating if you don't get caught.
That's right. Especially Carrigan. Like, Carrigan, if you're that far behind, I would have went over to all the other baskets and been dumping off all that extra rice that people would have had at the bottom of their basket into mine. First thing I would have thought of was let's get it on.
Think outside the box.
All right, so let's get to where most of the mistakes were made. It's this long, beautiful strip of decorations and little lefts and rights that you can get lost into these little cracks and crevices that have stores and houses and stuff. And you either got Penjor or Penjorigon, whatever. You're either doing the fruit baskets.
Arts and crafts versus fruit baskets, basically.
I mean, they're both attention to detail tasks, but one of them is attention to detail plus shopping plus balancing on your head. So I don't know how anybody looks at that and says, oh yeah, this is an attention to detail task that has shopping and balancing. Oh, and it's got to be much faster than just the attention to detail task. Seemed straightforward, especially for me after what happened in Africa. James Earl just walking right past me, balancing stuff on his head. There's no way in the world. Obviously, that's one of the things that I was very weak at, balancing anything on this. Look at this head. Look, is an egg head. There's nothing that's going to stay on the top of this egg and be balanced. It's always going to fall off my egg head. And I don't have any hair to kind of hold it in place. It just slips right off of my sweaty ass egg head. There's no way in the world I picked that. But in chat, what would you guys have picked? Would you guys have picked the fruit baskets or the other one? I don't even know what to call that. A big feather duster looking thing?
I mean, it kind of was. I mean, I would have done the other one for sure. I mean, more attention. It's honestly focusing on attention to detail, and plus, just like the other one, you have the finished example.
Yeah.
But you're also shopping too, so you can't really go back and forth while you're shopping to make sure you have the exact thing you're looking for. While in the feather duster one, as you called it, you can go back and forth as many times as you like without having to worry about anything else to make sure you have the placement right, the details right. So honestly, I would have chosen that.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the mindset you want to have. All right. So Jonathan is talking about, I gotta pee, right? Okay, you gotta pee. Then pee. Just go, man. Mine is the Dumb and Dumber theory. Just go, man. Like, just go. Like, not go to the bathroom. Just pee your pants. Who cares?
Yeah.
You're hot and sweaty and stinky anyway. The leg. This is the last task before you got to go to the pit stop. Who cares if you got pee on your leg? Like, whatever. Just sit on the ground and pee. Just sit right there and just go. I wouldn't even say anything. Obviously, I'd man up and just not go, because I learned my lesson from watching Keisha and Jen.
Yep.
You never stop.
Yep.
Never stop to go to the bathroom. And also, if he would have let Anna do the roadblock, he would have had plenty of time to go pee. But here's my question, and damn it, I'm Jack and Carson. Oh, I guess they wouldn't. They weren't there. But he left to go pee, which means he's more than 20 feet away from his partner, which means his partner should not have been able to continue doing the task. So I'd have been pissed off. I'd have been pissed off if I was Jack and Carson watching the replay saying, how come she's still doing the task while he's off peeing? Like, you're not supposed to be continuing a task when your partner's not there. So I would have been pissed off at that. But
yeah, that's actually a good point. I didn't even realize that. That makes sense. I mean, maybe what production should have done, maybe they should have had her pause until he got back.
Yes.
And then resumed once he relieved himself. Yeah.
People would pee their pants on national television? Yes. Well, would
you
rather
win $1 million?
Would you rather be Keisha and Jen and lose your chance at $1 million because you went pee-pee? Like, what do you think is going to be dumber? People be like, oh, that dude is gangster. He just peed his pants. That's how much he wants to win the race. Like, I'd have been like...
Nisi, she went in that little canal while they were doing the punting test.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do on the race. I mean...
Yeah, like... Everybody's peed their pants in a pool or the ocean at some point, right? It's just because it gets cleaned right away. So don't act like you've never peed your pants. Like, everybody in this chat room, everybody listening on podcast later has peed their pants at some point. It's just that you cleaned it right away when you were in a pool or the ocean. So don't act like you're too good to pee your pants, man.
His step was next, so after he checked in, he could have just taken care of whatever was left afterwards.
That's right. But
I'm not Jonathan, so I don't know what was going on in his head at the time, but that's what I would have done.
Wait, is that Emily from Emily and Molly? Because she just wrote behind the scenes, Molly peed her pants in Jordan, which gives me a whole new respect for Molly. I would give her mad props for Molly peeing in her pants. All right, per rules, shouldn't Anna have needed to go with him and stop doing the task? There you go, Emily. See, you thinking just like I'm thinking.
Yeah, you got to just tough it out. I mean,
if you want to win the Amazing Race, then you got to do what you got to do. So that's one sign that they are not going to win the Amazing Race. All right, so I love that the judge didn't tell them what they were doing wrong in the Penjor feather duster task. They just said no.
They just straight out said flat no, yes or no. That's it. The same with the roadblock too, when they were saying how much more do I need? Like, there's a scale there for a reason. Like, you should be. I mean, once again, I'm sitting on the couch while watching this, so it's easier to judge from the couch than actually running the race.
So Emily said it was so hot in Jordan that they dried very fast, and I guess you pee with black. They only wore black bottoms only, so you can't even tell the difference between pee and sweat, or even see it on camera when you're wearing black. So that's smart. Wear the black pants, and you don't have to worry about peeing because nobody can tell. Love it. Love that mindset, Emily. That's what I'm talking about. That's why you guys are so good. All right. So a couple mistakes here. Jack and Carson. Let's start with Han and Holden. Nick and Mike. They're the only two that chose to do that task. Why are you working together? That's the only team that you could see, that you know where they are. Every other team could have finished before you, and you two are fighting for last place, or you two are fighting for first place. Why the hell are you helping the other team? I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, even I just said to myself, like, it's not like, yes, it's fine, like, creating an alliance for like 1 or 2 episodes, but like, if you're in a situation where like you're the last 2 teams and you have an alliance, one of you is going to end up going home, so it's not really worth it, in my opinion. Just run your own damn race.
Well, running your own damn race is the difference right here between coming in fourth and coming in eighth on this leg, because we have a lot of people who should have run their own damn race in this leg, and we'll get to that here because it's all coming down right here.
Okay.
Yeah, Jack and Carson are able to pass Scott and Laurie because they find the pit stop first, and they are able to get there. You know, they beat them, I guess, in a foot race because they don't really show it, but you see them coming right behind them. So it was either they found it first or they beat them in a foot race, because Scott and Laurie finished second and they were on their way to the pit stop, while Jack and Carson,
they swapped, they flipped. So
yeah, Alyssa says there's no way of knowing where to go as they pass the signs. I love that. I love when the Amazing Race, wah, 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 and they show there's no way to know where to go.
If you just go.
And it's not like it was hidden. The clue box is right here, and right above the clue box, probably a foot, maybe 2 feet on top of the clue box, is left and right telling you where to go. And so many teams missed it. So many teams missed that little thing.
Well, Alyssa and Scott, I mean, they found the right detour in the end. So
yeah,
but yeah, if they just looked up, once again, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah. Another error, Nick, and bending down this way. When you're balancing something on your head, you don't bend forward. You squat straight down. And that cost them some time because they went forward, knocked it over, which allowed Han and Holden to pass them and get ahead of them. So that's silly little mistakes. Like, they just don't seem like they, as for being super fans of the race, they haven't watched the race's recap because it doesn't seem like they're doing any of the little things that a true super fan would know not to do. They're making all of the mistakes that we're like, don't ever make this mistake. But it's just a silly mistake. If you're balancing something on your head, it should be common sense not to bend forward, but to just go straight down like Han and Holden did.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Nick and Mike, Han and Holden finished their tasks in 4th and 5th place, but they ended up finishing at the pit stop in 6th and 8th place. Melinda and Erica finished their tasks in 8th place, but wound up finishing in 4th place because they're smart. They asked for directions. They not only asked for directions, they looked at the directions on the phone, and because Erica was so certain, no matter how many times Melinda asked her, are you sure this is the way? They showed at least 4 times, so you know she asked even more than that. Erica was like, no, this is the right way. No, this is the right way. She was running her own race while you had every other team, which I was a little upset with Alyssa and Josiah because they should know better. They are big Racers Recap fans. Alyssa and Josiah, Han and Holden, Brett and Mark, Nick and Mike, Pops and Jeff, all running around following each other. And what happens? They go into a huge loop-de-loop and circle the whole thing, which I think Mark said was almost, which was 3/4 of a mile out of the way. So they all ran 3/4 of an extra mile, and they wound up going in a huge loop-de-loop. And then they all had to go all the way back because they busted a left a little too early.
Yeah, you could play the Benny Hill theme, like just watching that over and over.
So teams 4 through 9 were all didn't run their own race. All they did was follow. I don't care. Don't ever follow another team.
Not worth it.
Run your own race. Erica and Melinda ran their own race and showed you why they came in 4th place when all the other teams behind them finished behind them, because they didn't run their own race. They're followers. Same thing, like, that's why you don't help another team. Han and Holden would have finished that task faster if they weren't trying to help Nick and Mike, because they were following Nick and Mike, and they were going to the wrong place. And then Han and Holden busted off to, oh, it's over here. They noticed things that Nick and Mike weren't noticing. Like, run your own race.
Yeah.
All right.
Between like finishing in the top of the pack, middle, and the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't run your own race, then you're never going to win the race. You're always going to be following somebody else. And Arnold DeLeon, constantly running his own race, dropping super chats in there. He says, super props to Erica. That's right. When mom is trying to beat you down, saying, yo, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Like, she should just throw up the hand. Ma, like, seriously, I've done every freaking roadblock. I'm running this race by myself. You're barely helping out. Just hold on and listen to me, all right? Just listen to me. I don't want any, like, You the mom outside the race, but on the race, I'm mama, and you're the daughter. You listen to me because I know what's going on. She held her ground, and they got themselves another 4th place. Good for them.
Exactly.
Oh, in the chat, Logan Saunders, the tar historian. So if you want to ask any questions about what could be happening, what's going on, he just finished recording his recap with the reality guys. Oh, reality guys.
Hey, Logan. Big shot. Okay.
And they also asked me for the history of bodily functions during the storyline of The Amazing Race. Yeah, I got that. It's just interesting that they want to have you on right after I have you on. Okay, reality guys, I'm watching. I see what you guys are doing. I guess they're gonna come after you next and see if you're gonna come on. This is the season of the Superfan. If you are just joining or if you are listening on the podcast, join us live. Sundays, 7 p.m., racersrecap.com. Jump into the chat, join the Discord, and you too could be on this season because this season, I don't know if I'm going to have many racers. I think I want to have a Superfan on every episode, even if I do have racers on. So this is the season of the Superfan. If you want to be on the Racers Recap, make sure you join the Discord. Send me a message letting me know that you want to be on, and we'll get it. And you don't have to pay to be on the Racers Recap. With super chats or anything, those are just appreciated. Ray Fletcher coming on had nothing to do with how much he supports the show financially. That doesn't mean that's how you get on the Racers Recap because you can't buy your way onto this. You gotta earn it. So even
all the super chats.
So Jonathan and Anna, I think they got themselves a 20-minute lead, which is what I heard. From using the Express Pass, they got 20 minutes, but they still it didn't seem like we'll see like what their starting times are if they actually got a 20-minute lead on Jack and Carson and Scott and Lori at the end of the day. And if they did get a 20-minute lead or didn't get more than a 20-minute lead, it was such a waste of an Express Pass that they could have just did the task and still came in first place.
Yeah, I mean, what if there's the task next leg that both of them are struggling at, even if it's a roadblock or a detour?
No, there's no U-turns yet. And this is the season of the twists. They're going to have at least one U-turn. Probably 2 U-turns. One is probably going to be a vote U-turn and one's going to be a board U-turn. Maybe if they want to do something like that, like a single U-turn, because that's deadly, rather than the double U-turn. So if you do like a single U-turn, that can be deadly for a team. There's only one team in the history of the Amazing Race to get single U-turned and survive. Super fan Elena Singer. Do you know who that team is?
I know it was
season 27.
It was your season, I remember.
The third U-turn. The only reason I used it because it was the first third U-turn ever introduced.
Logan and Chris.
Also, there was a couple of reasons. Logan was also throwing up before that race started because he drank a drink with ice cubes in India. They tell you not to drink the water, but you should be smart enough to know that they use water to make ice cubes and don't use anything with ice cubes. And he was having drinks with ice cubes in them, so he was vomiting at the starting line. And I was like, oh my God, let me find a way to slow them down. They're getting out of it. But to their props, they're the only team in Amazing Race America history. Logan, don't throw like, oh yeah, Marat's, get out of here. The only team in American history to survive a single U-turn.
And James Earl and Denise went home that leg, I remember.
Unfortunately, I wish Denise and James Earl would have stayed.
They're good people.
They are, yeah. I mean, James Earl was the only player on the season that I was nervous about because he was the one that seemed to know as much about the race as I did, and he was thinking along the same lines as I did. So I had a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, I hope he's doing well. I haven't seen him on the recaps in a while, but
he switched up his job. He's got like a bigger job now, and he's in charge of a lot more things. So
Awesome.
It happens. So next week, let's talk about it. Next week, everybody's wondering, it is a double must-vote U-turn. So it's not just a single must-vote U-turn. 2 teams will be U-turned at the starting line. So that's going to be causing a lot of drama. We all know Jonathan and Anna is one of them. In chat, who is the second team that's going to get U-turned next week? Who is that second team that's going to get U-turned? Because everybody's got to vote in front of each other. Who is it going to be? And I'll tell you, unfortunately for me, it would have been Jack and Carson. Even though Scott and Lori are strong, are showing that they're strong, I would have done Jonathan and Anna, Jack and Carson. Who would you have U-turned if you were on the race? The two teams you would have U-turned.
Definitely Jonathan and Anna for sure. I mean, after their Express Pass blunder, that put a huge target on their back. And I feel like with Carson and Jack and Scott and Lori, those two are interchangeable for sure.
All right. What other notes do you have on this leg? Is there anything that you wanted to touch on from this leg that I might have just, bum rushed and just ran right through it?
No, you pretty much touched on everything I noticed as well.
That's awesome. In the chat, most people in chat are saying Scott and Lori. Nobody is saying Jack and Carson. That's interesting. So, all right, so let's see. Jonathan and Anna finished second, first, third, first. Jack and Carson have the best average so far of all of the teams. They are the strongest team right now with a first place, a fourth place, second place. Scott and Lori are third, second, first, third. So Jack and Carson, Jonathan and Anna are statistically the two teams to worry about. I would have had that in my notes. That would have been the deciding factor for me. For making sure those are the two teams that I U-turn. And then I would make sure that I just beat Scott and Lori. Scott and Lori had a third place, second place, first place, third place. So that's pretty strong. It's pretty strong.
Yeah. Pretty solid.
Yeah. Who else? Let's see. We're looking in the chat. As $1 million decision after Scott and Lori burned through leg 2 so fast. Definitely them. Everybody in chat is Scott and Lori. Look at this.
Interesting.
That's But I think it's going to cause a lot of drama next week. And if you watch the preview, Jonathan starts to lose it. He does not like being U-turned, and that is causing stress. So if you have problems on one side of that detour, knowing you have to do the other side, then that is going to cause stress. Stress hits people differently on The Amazing Race. It's the reason Tanner and Josh got screwed. I mean, they had probably the hardest, task, the U-turn task in the history of The Amazing Race, probably. At least the longest. I didn't think there was any way they were going to come back from that. But
yeah, they had to do. I remember also in India, both of them had to do the roadblock.
Yeah,
as well. That screwed them over.
Yeah, the double roadblock. Sorry, yeah, I said, they both had to do that roadblock, and that roadblock took an hour, no matter how good you were. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you had to beat it, you had to wash it, then you had to beat it on a rock again, and then hang it up. That was going to take forever. So they have, they have to be smart, because if everyone votes for Jonathan and Anna have full control over who else gets U-turned.
Oh yeah.
YouTube boys flew under the radar, just like the dweebs are doing now. Dweebs is not an insult, because that's their name on YouTube. So if you hear us call, call Jack and Carson dweebs, I think that's their name is Dweeb Wars is one of their YouTube, because they have a couple YouTube channels, because they are just that type of YouTubers. And if you haven't followed them, make sure you go and follow them. This cast has been really active on social media. Most of them have, so go out and follow them on social media. Elena, would you want people to follow you on social media? If you do, tell them where they can.
Across all platforms, eSinger 1999. Go for it.
eSinger 1999. Make sure you follow and support our fellow super fans. It seems like everybody is universally just going for Scott and Lori. Nobody has mentioned Jack and Carson. That's very interesting. U-turn votes are also a bunch point, so you have to be a good racer. That is true.
Yeah. Like in season 31, they had a U-turn vote.
Yeah, the U-turn vote it changes things up, but I think CBS is trying to get The Amazing Race to have some more drama involved, because of all of the drama on Big Brother, I mean, it's the most drama show on television. And then you got Survivor's got so many drama points. but now the Amazing Race only has a couple, and that's even if they plan drama points, it doesn't always work out because of things like alliances and people burning double U-turn boards and stuff like that. So who's going home next week? Who is going home next week? Is that U-turn going to kill Jonathan and Anna? I still think. I think Melinda, she still has, it's 3-1. They're the only unbalanced roadblocks. She's probably going to end up doing a roadblock, which is probably going to cost them. I see Erica and Melinda or Pops and Jeff. Even with the double U-turn, I see teams passing, getting through that double U-turn. So probably Pops and Jeff or Melinda and Erica is kind of where I'm looking at who's going home. In chat, who's going home next week?
And the thing about this double U-turn vote is that with the standard double U-turn, you could burn the second one. You can U-turn a team that's already ahead of you so that none of the other teams get a chance to use it. But with this, you don't have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, that is true. You can't burn it because, burning it, I know the producers hate that. So I'm glad that they found a way around that, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because I like to see some drama. I like to see teams overcome the odds. This just like people like, oh, Justin, what? Like, why would you U-turn the strongest teams? What if they U-turn you? So what? You can U-turn me all you want. I am still going to be faster than the slowest team left, especially if there's 9 teams left. There's not 8 teams that are going to do this one U-turn faster than I'm going to do both. Like, that's just the mindset that I have. So, yes, I still have the same mindset when we race on season 40 All-Stars. That's still going to be the mindset. I don't care. It's first place every leg. That's the goal. I already know we're going to win, but can we win every single leg is the challenge. That's what the challenge is on season 40. Not just to win the finale, it's to win every single leg, break every record known to man, and then they could just end the Amazing Race at season 40 with no qualms about who the best team ever to run the race is. And then after that, we're going to go on Beast Games and win $15 million or some shit like that. So yes, Beast Games is casting right now. They get 1,000 players. So why don't you guys get on Beast Games? Go apply for Beast Games. It's only a 1-minute video and a couple questions. Go apply Beast Games. And if you haven't seen it, it is the best new reality show in a long, long time. I love Traders. I love $1 Million Secret. Looks like it's pretty fun. I watched the first 3 episodes of that. That looks pretty fun. But Traders is really good. Deal or No Deal Island is better than Survivor, except this last episode of Survivor is probably one of the best there ever was.
Agreed.
If you haven't watched this last episode, even if you don't watch the season, just watch this last episode. It was really good. It's
very touching.
Very touching. And I would play a similar game to that because I don't like bullies and I don't like people who get picked on and things like that. So I always have like a soft side, which is why Adam and Alex were like the team that I actually had an alliance with was Adam and Alex, because I felt like, teams are going to bully on them. So I wanted to protect them.
It's olive branch to them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think that Melinda's doing the roadblock next week is going to cause them to finish in last. We'll see how it all works out. To be clear, Justin is not confirming the cast of season 40. No, nobody knows anything about season 40. Anybody who tells you they do is lying. We're all of us former racers are just like throwing it into the atmosphere, saying it's going to be like some sort of like all-star season. Just throw it out there into the ether. If everybody says it, if all that energy, if you believe in the secret, and if you put it out into the universe, it'll come back to you. Everybody put it out into the universe, season 40, so we can get on there and finish this debate once and for all. Who's the best team ever to run the race? Put us there. Let's get it on, baby. Elena Singer, thank you so much for all your support throughout the years, and I'm so glad that you got to appear on this episode. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Arnold DeLeon, my man Ray Fletcher, thank you guys so much for supporting, not just physically but financially. That is really cool. And to each and every one of you in chat, my man Jack and Carson, I love it when former racers stop by. Emily and Molly, thank you so much for hanging out. If you're listening on the podcast, join us live Sundays, 7 p.m., racersrecap.com. And if you want some inside scoop, you want to chat with the super fans, literally, there's only super fans in the Discord group. So jump into the Discord and chat into any Little Amazing Race thing, and you can ask tons of questions there. Bunch of former racers, a bunch of current racers, and nothing but super fans. You can get all the little details to take it for your notes. If you're ever going to be on the show, this is the only recap you need to watch. All of the other ones they're entertaining and they're fluffy, but this is the only one that really gives you the information that you need to win the amazing race. And when you have Alyssa and Josiah on the show, I want to have them on the show because they are super fans of the Races Recap, and they said, I'm going to put this out there now, they kept saying on the Amazing Race, when they were seeing the other teams for the first time, they would say, hey there, what do you say there? Just to see if any other teams recognized it. And the only reason they didn't bring one backpack is because they didn't want to be seen as super fans. They said they knew that that's such a big deal for us, but they said like they just brought two really small backpacks because they didn't want to look like they knew the show that much, which is pretty smart. I mean, it's like a double whammy, but still, I would only bring one. Even as jacked as Alyssa is, I still would have only brought one bag. So we'll see it. Everybody in chat, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. So we get to talk about this super nerdy show with all my super friends, my super fans. Elena, thank you so much. Until next week, my friends. Fare thee